Hey guys, it's Roberto. So I'm testing this live setup. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, it doesn't like me doing that. It doesn't like me doing the record thing at the same time, so that's cool. But what that does mean is that this new Panasonic Lumix G7 setup with the Blackmagic design shuttle and Wirecast, this is a really nice live stream setup, but it is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. So what I did here, what I'm testing is the Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle, which is a USB 3 video capture card. It's not unlike the Elgato Game Capture. Oh, sorry, that was Philly D here. That was like the last thing I was watching on my phone. See what happens when you do live stuff. But let's see. What can I do here? I'm going to put your comments on my phone so that I don't have to always turn around to the laptop and I don't have to risk messing up the cords to see the live chat from you guys. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of tune into my own live stream here. I'm going to have it muted and I'm going to use the live chat right here, which I've popped up on the screen. It should be over here, I think, if everything's going right. So let me break down this setup. I'm using the Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle. It's a video capture card that's kind of like the Elgato Game Capture for those of you who are YouTube gamers. That is a 200, I think it's 200 bucks. It's about 200, 250 bucks. The difference between this and the Elgato Game Capture is kind of how it overall works and the fact that it has more inputs and outputs for me to mess with. So it's a little bit more robust there. It's a little bit more expensive. It's also a little larger, but it also does have software and driver stuff, and it has its own software for recording and capturing and editing and all that kind of stuff. So there are some upsides to it. It is about $50 more than the Elgato, but it's not limited to gaming, and I can input more types of devices. That's kind of why I got it. The other part of this that's pretty expensive is that I'm using Wirecast Studio. I'm using version 7 of Wirecast Studio. I'm not using the demo anymore. Not even close to cheap. So that's $700 worth of the setup here. The rest of it is the fact that I'm using for the audio my Sennheiser MKE 440 mic. That's about $300 plus microphone, and my $600 Panasonic Lumix G7 and my 14mm lens, which is a 28mm equivalent. So between the actual stuff that focuses on the live streaming, between the software and the hardware, and then the camera setup, plus my panel lights, you're looking at $2,000 plus. But in terms of what's just live streaming, that's about $700 worth of setup. I already had this camera gear for my upgraded YouTube studio for 2017, so you get down of why that cost as much as it does. Yeah, there are still issues. There's still minor issues, but that has less to do with the setup and the gear so much as it has to do with me being a novice at this level of live streaming. Doing this higher level of live streaming is going to put the quality of the videos and the audio hopefully on par with my other YouTube content. So that's the hope here. But it was only about $700 more of setup than what I already have. To take that any further, all I'd have to do is if I wanted to have a stronger audio connection, I could have a USB microphone. I could either use one of these spare Audio-Tech TR2100s that I have that are $65, and one of my boom poles, and I could put that above me but out of frame, and that would work as a boom mic, and maybe that would be a little bit better, but it would clutter the space even more than it already is just to do this. So that's one of the things I thought about. Let me see what else is going on here. Now granted, I could use what do you call it? I could use OBS. That would have saved me $500, but the interface for doing live switching is better on this than it is with OBS. Let me show you guys. So what I'm going to do here is, I could do this with OBS, but I'm going to queue up some slides of my photography from KatsuCon, and I'm going to show you guys those. Just give me 1 second to set that up, and I do want to actually make an adjustment to the slides because I don't know if I want them to transition as quickly as they are set up to transition. Let me see if I can edit that real quick here in the software. Because, I mean, that is kind of cool. And I do like that. So let me go ahead and switch over so you guys can see some of my photography. And so I just think it's kind of cool that I can do these transitions and things like that. I could also queue up videos with this. I could set up this video to where, in addition to having the chat thing up here, I could put all kinds of stuff up here. I could have a live Twitter feed going. I could do all kinds of cool stuff. So this is really neat. I like it. Again, you could learn how to do some of the stuff with OBS, but this is faster, it's less cumbersome, the interface is smoother, there's a lot in favor of it. And also, I could go ahead and I can do interviews, really high quality interviews with this using Zoom, because I can bring in Zoom as a feed, and this is something I learned from Tim Schmoyer and also from my friend Owen Hemsath. So there's a lot that I can do with this, and I like having the options. I like that it'll grow with me. I like that there's a lot of support and tutorials for Wirecast. Open source is great. Free stuff is cool, but I kind of like having the higher level stuff and just knowing that I've got options and I've got support for it. So let me pull out the phone. Let me check out some of your comments where you're saying. By the way, somebody did a super chat. Someone actually sent me some money. Tony W., thank you so much. You're asking if you're supposed to be able to see the zebra lines. That's a good question. I didn't realize, oh wow, you guys are seeing the zebra lines. I'd have to actually turn that off in the settings. I'd have to turn off the focus peaking in the settings for you guys not to see the zebra lines. So interesting. So let me see if I can actually do that without disrupting the stream. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Hang on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the menu system. This might actually show up the menu system on camera, which could be cool for you guys. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to menu. Go to my settings, and I will take off, like, I like the zebra striping feature when I'm doing recording, because that's actually really helpful with these mirrorless cameras. That's amazing, actually. It's one of my favorite features on them, but probably not so good for you guys in terms of viewing. So let me just find that feature. Wow, where is that feature? What I will say also is that the menus for the mirrorless cameras, there's so much on the Panasonic and Sony cameras that there's just so much stuff on the Panasonic and Sony cameras that you have to spend a lot of time going through the menu. So in the meantime, while I'm going through the menu and making the camera stuff more interesting for you guys by taking out the zebra striping, I'm going to queue up a video from my friend Eric Peter Carlson. He is a filmmaker. We're working on a collab, and you guys are going to get a live sneak preview of our collab. Aside from my soul. Aside from my soul. Aside from my soul.
Roberto, and hi, Roberto's audience. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for having me. It's very exciting to be back. I'm sure many of you saw the live stream that Roberto and I did doing question and answers last week. It was fantastic. I met so many new people. I cannot tell you how many new people and fans and artists that I met just from that one interview. So if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend checking it out on Roberto's channel because it really seemed to strike a chord, and I can't wait to do that again. Live streaming, that's where it is, man. Let's do some live streaming. But today, we're not gonna do live streaming. Today, we're gonna do 5 tips to becoming an independent filmmaker. I don't even want to say to become an independent filmmaker. That seems like I'm going to give you some secrets or something. It's really not secrets. Know your...
Alright guys, so it should be me back with the chat over here, and so I've taken off the zebra striping from the Panasonic Lumix G7 and the focus peaking, so now you're seeing it just as a image and not what I see as, like, you know, filmmaker when in camera. And again, this is why I said this is a test. This is not, hey, let's just do a live stream. This is testing what a setup is like. So crash test dummy over here, you guys get to see what this would be like. So thank you for pointing out things in the live stream that are and are not working, by the way, guys. That's really cool. I appreciate that. I don't know if I leave this test up. Maybe I'll leave this test up. Maybe I won't. I haven't decided. But I've got some of you guys' chat questions here, so I'm going to do that. I've got the laptop set up with the switching and all the cool stuff. Let's see. Yeah, OBS is free. I see that. But, you know, I kind of like that. And then, let's see. We got, we got some troll here. That's pretty cool. It's always great to have trolls. Also, the photos that I was showing you guys were not processed. They were all straight out of camera. Let's see. Oh, nice. Will you review the new Logitech 4K webcam? I might. I have to see if I want to do that or if I think 4K webcam streaming is even viable. But I might. You know, I'm obsessed with 4K video, and so I might reach out to my friends over at Logitech and see if they want to do anything with that. Yeah, and by the way, no matter how much money you spend on a setup, be prepared to have issues. I have friends using a $5,000 live stream setup with the Sony a7S II and still have issues as well. So there's no amount of money you can spend to eliminate technical difficulties. People spend tens of thousands of dollars on things and still have technical difficulties. So that matters. Now, the image quality on this, from what I'm seeing over here, what I'm seeing on camera, and even from what you guys are saying, the image quality is great. Why? This gives you the image quality in a live stream that you have pretty much on my normal YouTube videos. The other difference, though, is that I had to switch from 1080p 24 frames per second to 30 frames per second because that's what live streaming wants. I prefer 24 frames per second as a look, but live streaming either wants you to do 30 or 60 frames per second. So that's something you can do. Mike Polas, thank you for the $2 tip, my friend. Love that. So yeah, stepping it up. The lag, I can't do much about. That is down to bandwidth, and it may not be the same for everybody. The lag may be different based on where people are at. My streaming software for this is not OBS, guys. I'm using Wirecast. OBS is free. Wirecast Studio is $500, and that's what I'm using. But I'm using it because I like the feature set and because it's letting me step my game up, and it will let me step my game up further in the future. When I want to do live streams with other people, maybe I do a live stream with Tim Schmoyer or Daryl Eves, it's going to mean that I can do better quality live streams using Wirecast because, excuse me, we could do something like Zoom, and I can put it up there. I can still put the chat up. I can do all kinds of craziness, and I can do it easier for me. If you guys want to go through the trouble to learn and master OBS and OBS Studio, and you can get it to work without crashing and without issues, hats off to you. You know, but I've found that the learning curve on Wirecast is that I've gotten better at it, and I've only done it a couple of times, and I'm really figuring it out. So if you guys tuned in for my first test of this setup, you know that what I'm doing now is worlds away from my first and second test of this, and we're only like on the third one. Able Family Life says, I have a video question. Does it matter whether the title is long or short? Will it turn people off? Is it better to have more keywords in it, or would it be overload? The title is, there's no real answer to that. The title is whatever works for the title. I've had long titles work. I've had short titles work. A title is a promise. A title is context. Don't worry about long and short. You know, I have this issue with people in YouTube. And this is not an offense to anybody, but my issue with people in YouTube is everybody's looking for a checklist. Everybody's looking for a hack or a secret or a definitive answer. How long should a video be? There's no answer to that. There are people who do hour-long videos, whether they're live streams. My friend David DeFranco does like 5-hour-long videos, and some of those do really well. And there are people who do 1-minute videos, and some of those do really well. There's no answer as to how long your video should be. You know what? I mean, you might as well be asking, how long should a date be? It should go as long as it's fun. You know, there are some people that will love to have like a 10-hour date from sun up to sundown because it's amazing. Or you took them to Disneyland. You know, that's real, okay? That's real. There are some people that's like 5 minutes in, they're like, check please. Oh, better have my friend fake call me, time to go. Like, I mean, that's real. So how long can you be interesting and fun or informative or inspiring, or how long can you do cool stuff? I don't know. Maybe that's 5 minutes for you. Maybe it's 50 minutes for you. How interesting are you? So that's how long your videos should be, as long as you can be interesting or informative. Oh, wow. I got a super chat from Michael Mariano. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Michael Mariano. Thank you so much for the $5 in the super chat. Guys, I really appreciate the super chats. So yeah, it's a pricey setup to be sure. Oh my God, it's pricey. But here's the thing about it. In my case, I will make my return on investment because as I master this, I will be able to train and teach people and companies how to do this. So don't use the fact that I'm doing a $2,000 live stream setup as that's what you have to do, because a lot of you could get this. You could use OBS, which is free, right? So you're eliminating $500 of my setup. You could use as a video capture device if you want to use your existing camera gear. Because remember, I didn't go ahead and buy a new camera. I'm using a camera. That's part of the expense in the total that I'm counting here. But if you already have a camera, you then just need an HDMI out, and then you need a video capture card. That video capture card could cost you $150 to $200. So for some of you, if you already have a camera and a good audio setup, and you already have free live streaming software, then all you would need to do is get a $200 card. So some of you will spend a tenth of the price here because you already have some of this gear one way or the other, whether it's software or hardware. So that's the thing to keep in mind. You can get this level of quality, but it might only cost you $200 more to get a piece of hardware. If you want the software I'm using, well, that's another $500. So, you know, that's the point. Mr. Cianon says that the titles should be short or people lose interest. No, I disagree. Like, the videos that I have that have 200,000 views have long as hell titles. There's no amount of, it's not a matter of the titles being short, it's a matter of context, and then it's a matter of search engine optimization. So it's a matter of both context, because a title is a promise, and then it's a matter of discoverability in YouTube, because it doesn't matter. I mean, this title wasn't short. So, and we've got people watching. So that's real. Jay Leaves is asking, what's the setup? Okay, so, Jason, the setup for this is Wirecast Studio, which is $500, my friend. Right? But you could use OBS. The hardware is the Black Magic Design Shuttle Intensity, which is $200. Review coming soon for that. And what else do we got? And then my regular camera gear. The Panasonic Lumix G7 with the 14mm lens, which is the equivalent of a 28mm. The Panasonic Lumix G7 has the flip-out screen, and the audio for that is the Sennheiser MKE 440. Review coming out for that this week, actually. So that's what I've got. V Loves ask, And again, I'm reading you guys' chat questions here. VLoves asks, should we keep our viewers on YouTube as much as possible and try not to send them elsewhere? I don't want YouTube to slap me on the hand. What would you do? A penny for your thought. Okay, so VLoves, I do all of it, meaning that there's stuff that I do. This is why, this is a hack. All right, this is actually one of my secret hacks. Why do you put out so much YouTube content, Roberto, especially since you don't get the view to sub ratio? One, I don't get this view to sub ratio because I'm putting out different content for different audiences, because I work like a television network. I've reversed engineered what the CW does with, oh, I'll do this show on Monday, this show on Tuesday, this show on Wednesday, knowing bloody well that Monday people won't always watch Wednesday's videos. So that's part of it. But here's the other hack of why I do that and why I put out certain types of content. There are short videos that I put out, like one I released today, that's a 3-minute video, that people who have never seen me, it's a low emotional value to get them in the door. But I have so much content that there are some of them that will stick around and give me more watch time because they'll watch videos in a playlist. So that's why I do that. I make some content that's low emotional value as far as, oh, that's 3 minutes, I can spare 3 minutes. So it's easy. I do some of that, get them into a playlist so that they're watching a few chunks of 5-minute or 10-minute videos after that because they liked it, and so that keeps them on YouTube longer. However, there are videos that I do, like tech reviews, that I want them to get off YouTube as quickly as possible, go to my Amazon affiliate link, click that, buy, and then I get my, 4 to 8% that Amazon gives me as a commission. So when it comes down to a video that's going to make me the most profit on affiliate side, it might be that I want them to leave YouTube and go to TubeBuddy. I might want them to leave YouTube and go to Amazon. I might want them to leave YouTube and go to ConvertKit or whoever. So that's important. But then when it's a video that's the type of video that's supposed to get me a speaking engagement, so that a speaking event will fly me out and pay my speaker fees, I want them to get off of YouTube and go to my website, robertoblake.com, go to my speakers page, and hire me. So that's, an important thing. When I want somebody to hire me as a client for either coaching or consulting for the business side, I want them to get off of YouTube and go to my website. And then I want them to reach out. So it's a matter of what's your goal. Is your goal to grow on YouTube? Is your goal to get new business, get new clients, get speaking gigs, get money? If you're an actor or actress, do you want them to go off of your YouTube and go then to your resume? Do you want them to go from your reel, if you're doing stuff that's that, and then go to your IMDb? Or like, what do you want? What do you want? I need people to stop making YouTube a destination and make it a vehicle. YouTube is supposed to get you something else. It's not about YouTube. It's about what comes after that, using this as a vehicle. Like, because that's my thing with people who say they're trying to make it in YouTube. Well, what if YouTube goes away? What are you going to do then? Like, what if YouTube is your whole identity? Like, how do you have an identity outside of YouTube? Look what happened to Vine. Okay, if your identity was I'm a Viner, instead of I'm an entertainer, I'm a performer, I'm an actor and an actress, and if you're not positioning for that, but what does positioning for that look like? Well, these Vine kids, a lot of them didn't have a website. Ooh, that was a mistake. I have friends in social media, I have homies that are social media marketers that used to believe that with social media, you don't need a website anymore, and then when they saw Vine go away, a lot of them went out and said, geez, that website that I have that looks like it was built in the 90s, I'm going to update that, I'm going to install WordPress, I'm going to get me a really good website now, because they realized, oh crap, these platforms can change the rules. They can change the rules, they can change the algorithm, they can ban you and delete you, anything can happen. And what do you do then? So you have to build a brand beyond YouTube or any other platform that you're in. You have to build a real brand. And I think I've stressed that. That's why I do all the personal branding videos, and I do the stuff that's around marketing and self-promotion, because those of you who want to be YouTubers, I need you to understand, you got to build a real brand, and ideally, you should build a real business outside of YouTube too. I have a business outside of YouTube, and I'm spinning off multiple brands. Some of you may not even remember that I started a podcast, but I've relaunched the podcast. I did 3 episodes last week. I've got another episode dropping tonight. I've got an episode hopefully dropping tomorrow. So the Create Something Awesome Today podcast is back. I have another vehicle outside of YouTube. I have all my other social media. So yeah. By the way, those of you just tuning in, this isn't a webcam. This is a DSLR. This is a Panasonic Lumix G7. I have all my YouTube gear linked up below, but that's why it's an expensive setup, and then I'm using a video capture card. Now, again, I could just live stream because I have over 10,000 subscribers. I could use the YouTube mobile app and it'll still look really good, and the audio will be good too. I could plug my Rode Video Mic Me in. I could put an Archon light on here. I could mount this on a Archon mounts portable tripod, but there's a lot. Mark Plunkett JVlogs says, I have to be honest, I've made a lot of improvements since I've been watching your videos. You helped me grow, so thank you for that. Hey, thank you so very much, Mark Plunkett. Super appreciate that. Yep, I'm using Wirecast, Brandon. Oh, guys, by the way, thank you so much for so much engagement in the chats. Like, I haven't even looked at the YouTube dashboard. I have no idea how many of you guys are actually watching right now. Let me take a peek at that. Oh, wow, there's a bunch of you guys watching. So thanks so much for that, especially since it's, like, late at night. And I think I will leave this test up. I don't know how long we're going to run this, but I think I will leave this test up just to show you guys what you can expect from doing something like Wirecast. So I think I'll just let this one ride. Muffin Bunny asked, Roberto, what is the best way to make a photography and design portfolio? My hack for it would be to design your portfolio like a very short digital magazine. I would design it in the format of a 20-page digital magazine in PDF format. And I would do it in Adobe InDesign, and I would set it up to have both a vertical and horizontal layout so that no matter how they're looking at it, it makes sense and it flows, and Adobe InDesign will help you do that. And if you want to be a graphic designer, I would suggest that that's what you do. And if you want to leverage your photography skills, that's what I would suggest you do. So, awesome. Let's see. Civil Guy says, exactly, fully agree. Don't become too attached to the social networking sites. Build your own websites. Yeah, you got to build your own platform. Go Herping asks, do you have any suggestions as to where to upload an audio podcast? iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play Store. So this is distribution, but you'll need hosting. And for hosting, I would recommend Blueberry, Libsyn, or SoundCloud. I'm using SoundCloud Pro. I pay $15 a month for unlimited SoundCloud hosting, and then I use an RSS feed for my website, and I distribute from there to Google Play Store, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and all the rest of them using that setup. Because all you need is a website, an RSS feed, but you also need media hosting. You shouldn't host the audio files of your podcast on your own website. You absolutely shouldn't, because you will bog down the server if a lot of people are listening to it all at once, and so you can crash your website and crash your podcast. So you don't want to do that. You want to have media hosting, so you want to use something like SoundCloud or Libsyn or Blueberry for that, or whoever else you can find, and then you want to then have the RSS feed for your website, link the things up, and use it for the distribution in iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, and everywhere else. Yeah. So, guys, you can check out the Create Something Awesome Today podcast by going to robertoblake.com/iTunes, or you can go to the website, createsomethingawesometoday.com, and you can check it out there. Or you can go to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/robertoblake2, just like this YouTube channel, and that's where you can find my podcast. I debated bringing the podcast to the YouTube channel. I decided against it. If I do, I will have a different YouTube channel, maybe the one for my company. I host the podcast on that. So that could be interesting. That might be a direction that I choose to go. It would still be an audio-only podcast, but it would be in YouTube for discovery reasons and to promote and to get traffic. So that's another hack, is if you have a podcast, you could set up a YouTube channel, upload the audio files, but with a video format, audio only, and you could use that as a hack and then get people to go from there over to the iTunes or wherever and leave a review. Or if they want to download it, you let them know, hey, link to this episode in the description below so you can download it, and they download it from iTunes so when they want to listen, and that's how you do that. So let's see, we got another comment here. Sold by Tech asks, Roberto, just luckily hit 100 subscribers. What next? I want to improve lightings. There anything else other than lighting to make quality better? Improve the lighting. It'll make one of the biggest differences. Improve the audio if you can. And other than that, I would just say get good at editing. Now that you have 100 subscribers, just keep making good content. be responsive to any comments that you get, the feedback, and try to come up maybe with a promotion strategy. Maybe think about other places you can put your videos. That's what I would recommend. Oh, also, by the way, when you guys are live streaming and you're using a DSLR, you do have to be conscious of what the battery life is on your DSLR. So you'll have to think about that in terms of your strategy, because this eats through batteries. It's a little nuts, actually. How come the audio levels are on the screen? The audio levels are on the screen because I'm monitoring the audio. I would have to turn that off in the menu settings of the camera, and I've already had to turn off the zebra striping, the focus peaking, all the stuff that I usually use when I'm making sure that the camera setup is perfect, because I'm using the flip screen to monitor things right now. And so I left the audio on because I don't want to disable it and then have to re-enable one more thing on my menu. And I do want to make sure that the audio doesn't go out at some point because of batteries dying or some craziness like that. So that's what's going on. In the future, if I want to do that, what I might do is put a lower third in the screen where that would normally be to cover it up, or move the super chat down to completely cover that up. So that is what I would do. Doc Hillary asked, I wanted to know if you have business and YouTube coaching. Yes, a lot of the focus is on the development of your overall brand and also online monetization strategies, i.e. how do you make money on this kind of thing. So a lot of it focuses on that, but also, yeah, a lot of the YouTube growth strategies, and it gets specific to the channel. There's channel and social media audits. It's about coming up with your real communication strategy. What's different about your Twitter versus your Instagram versus your Snapchat versus your YouTube channel versus your website. Reviewing the marketing copy for your website is definitely part of the audit. Looking at what you can do to monetize. Is it that you're going to sell merchandise? How do you market it? If so, are you going to do affiliate marketing? What are the best programs for someone like you and what your niche is? Are you going to develop a product? How do we grow your email list? A lot of you underestimate growing an email list. Growing an email list is one of the most important things you can do for your brand. I'm actually moving my entire email list over from MailChimp to ConvertKit. It's definitely going to be a better overall system. Some of you, it still makes sense for you to start with something like MailChimp, but once you get closer to like 10,000 subscribers on your newsletter, it makes sense. Actually, no, I would take that back. When you get close to like 3,000 or 5,000, it makes sense to go to ConvertKit, especially when you start doing more lead magnet stuff or you start doing giveaways. So if you want to check out some, if you want to check out what I'm using for email marketing, you can go to robertobblake.com/MailChimp. And if you want to get ConvertKit, it's like $30 a month to start with ConvertKit. You can go to robertobblake.com/ConvertKit. Those are my links. The reason I moved to ConvertKit is that I have 12 free things that I want to give away to you guys. And this is going to make more sense to do that, because what ConvertKit does is, if all of you sign up your email address to get all 12 of my free downloads, it still only counts you as one subscriber. MailChimp, the way it's currently set up, you guys would count as duplicates, and MailChimp would keep charging me for that. So it's going to be, while ConvertKit seems more expensive, it's more cost effective because I eliminate all duplicate emails. So it saves me money in the long run. It also let me organize the list better, and I can set up the funnels to where if you downloaded something and you wanted like a 12-step course, that where I can set up the emails to work better for giving you your 12-step free course on something. So that's why. Tyler asked, Roberto, what is your opinion on condenser microphones? I think condenser microphones are actually pretty good. Condenser microphones tend to be directional, so they filter out less, you get less of the background noise because they filter that. So I'm a fan of condenser microphones. Condenser microphones can be pretty good for podcasting too. Let's see, we got some more stuff. What are my thoughts on the .co domain? Go Herping ask. I would use them for short URLs. I wouldn't use them by themselves. Like I would get something like rblk.co or something so that I could create short links to post in my Instagram bio or in my social media stuff. So that's how I would do that. Oh, D Lovely Life just donated $5 via Super Chat. Says, throwing you cash like you did for Tim. That was funny. Increased 39% in views in 7 days. Cards, playlist, etc. Help. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. YouTube cards are underutilized. YouTube cards are really good. Playlists are another search result. I did a whole video about YouTube playlist strategy you guys should check out if you're trying to grow on YouTube. That's pretty cool. I really appreciate you guys who are donating in Super Chat. Thank you so much. It's not something I've really thought to ask for, but anyone who does donate, I obviously appreciate it. And now that it gives me a way, the cool thing about Super Chat versus fan funding is it gives me a way to keep track of who donated, and I'm going to find something super special to do for everyone this month who donated via Super Chat, whether it was $2 or $5 or $10. I'm going to find something special to do for you guys. Maybe I do some kind of private hangout on air and invite you guys to hang out with me on a weekend or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Mixion says, solid. I also use TubeBuddy. Unless your video goes viral, it won't just hop to the top video rankings because of its tags. That's not true, Mr. Sion. If you contextualize your tags, your descriptions, and your titles, you don't need to go viral. None of my videos have gone viral, and yet almost every single one of them is on the first page of YouTube for their search terms. So I want to correct that assumption. There's a lot of people that have gotten to the top of YouTube with 3,000 views versus videos with 5,000, 50,000. It happens all the time. And accurate titles, descriptions, and tags matter because YouTube is a robot. It's a search engine. It needs context. Okay? That's why with my blog, back in the day when I was doing Google search engine optimization, guess what? I could outrank for an article about best graphic design laptops or you on the first page of Google back in 2010. And I didn't need to go viral to do that. And that was with Google on websites. And there were more websites and web pages and articles clearly than there are YouTube channels. So when you say that, that's misinformation. All this idea, everyone wants to go viral. Viral videos are crap. You know that? And I don't care who disagrees with me on that. Viral videos are crap. Because here's the thing. This is going to get aggressive. Some of you aren't going to like this. Some of you are going to unsubscribe from this one. But I'm going to tell you the truth that probably no one in YouTube has ever told you in your entire life. Viral videos are crap. Because the far majority of you, 99% of you watching right now, if you had a viral video that blew up to 2 million views tomorrow, you wouldn't know what to do with it. You wouldn't know what to do with the fact that you got 2 million views on one video tomorrow. Tell me in the comments right now, if you got 2 million views tomorrow, are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for that level of success? Is your inbox prepared for that? Do you have a strategy for what happens if you get 2 million views on a video overnight? The answer is no. So what's the point in hoping for a viral video? What are you going to do then? And that's just real. I know a lot of people didn't like that. But no, that's the reality. You know what I'm not prepared for? I'm not prepared to get a $250,000 contract to shoot a documentary film tomorrow. So don't feel bad or don't feel salty. Look, I'm not prepared for a $250,000 contract tomorrow to shoot a documentary film. If that hopped into my lap tomorrow, I'd be like, oh crap, I might have to say no. I might have to turn down a $250,000 contract because I'm not in a position to do that. I'm not. I don't know who I can pull in that has the availability for me to get that in terms of crew, in terms of a boom mic operator, in terms of an audio engineer, in terms of 3 on-site editors for dailies. I don't have 2 people that I can call to be grips. I don't have 3 people that I can call to be main crew. I don't have a craft services person I can call. I don't have that infrastructure. I don't even have that phone tree in place to shoot a $250,000 documentary film tomorrow or next week. I couldn't, if that call comes in right now, I have to turn it down. I have to turn down a $250,000 if that call comes down the line right now because I'm not set up for it. So that's part of the reason viral videos are crap. The other reason is plenty of people go viral, they become a meme, and they become one-hit wonders, and then nothing they ever do is as good as that. So it's flash in the pan. You can get a viral video, and then what? What are you going to do? Are you going to be able to reduplicate that? Are you going to be able to be successful with that? Is that going to last forever? All these people doing 24-hour overnight challenges, how long can they do that? And then they're up in the ante. Somebody's going to get arrested if they haven't already. So viral videos are crap. I don't believe in them. Now, granted, they do sometimes help somebody, and then somebody, for the stuff they've already been doing, you know, like, can happen. But the reality is, the far majority of you don't have something that would go viral, and then if it did, you wouldn't know what to do with it, and then the thing that you don't want, is what will go viral. The thing you don't want to do is what would go viral. You know what would go viral? What would go viral is if I face planted riding a boosted board, or if I epic failed on a boosted board and injured myself, that would go viral. That would go viral. If I fell off of the stage during a speaking engagement, that would go viral. Chewbacca Mom didn't necessarily want to go viral and didn't want forever to be known as Chewbacca Mom. Okay, so the thing that you want to go viral, that won't go viral. The thing you don't want to go viral, that will go viral, and you'd have to live with it. The thing that will go viral will most likely be the most embarrassing thing for your brand you can think of, or it'll be some stupid throwaway thing that you didn't think anyone would pay attention to, where your hair, your makeup wasn't right, or where you weren't wearing something cool, or it might be something that makes you actually look bad. It might be that you yell at somebody during a live stream, or you have a terrible accent during a live stream, or you do something stupid, and that's what goes viral. Or you slip and you say something, or you misphrase something, and it's a horrible context, it's a hot mic moment, that goes viral, okay? So it's the thing that you don't want that most likely would go viral. And then even if it's not, and it's something good, do you have the infrastructure to support that success? You know, can you scale your brand to where someone's like, that person went viral? Do you have a way to make it like, oh no, that person went viral, instead of, that person went viral? So again, viral videos are crap. Not to mention, literally, viral videos often are crap. Go look at the 90% of videos that go viral. They didn't have high quality production values. The audio a lot of times wasn't fantastic. And what it was something sensational. It wasn't anything really of interest or of value. There are rare exceptions. There are rare exceptions of things that go viral that are actually of substance, like when Eric Thomas gave that speech at that high school and he got those kids fired up, or when Steve Harvey gave that speech and the cameras still happened to be rolling. That was cool that went viral. Or when, what was another thing that's kind of like that went viral? Man, I just had it in my mind too. But yeah, I mean, it's that kind of stuff. Rashid Griffin, oh, thanks for the $5, man. Rashid says, we appreciate all the content you provide, brother. Hashtag thank you. Thank you so much. So let's see. And there was someone else. Oh, Living Free Forever, Melody and Rick. Melody and Rick Schaefer, thank you guys so much. You guys are always supporting what I do. You guys are saying thank you for all your help this past year. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Melody and Rick. Living Free Forever. That is very awesome of you. Thank you for the $5. I super appreciate that in the super chat. So let's see what other comments I got since I started calling out viral videos. And again, I'm not dissing anybody on YouTube who has a viral video. I'm just saying that the culture of viral videos and the strategy of it is flawed. The strategy of believing that you need a viral video is completely flawed. I haven't had a video go viral yet, and I've got almost 250,000 people who have subscribed to my channel on some level. So I'd say that you could use that as an example. And I'm selling something super uninteresting. Learn stuff and work hard. I'm selling learn stuff and work hard, the most uninteresting thing in the world. And you know who else is selling that? Everybody on this bookshelf. Everybody on this bookshelf. People like Gary Vaynerchuk, people like Lewis Howes, people like Amy Schmittauer, people like Keith Ferrazzi, you know, people like Jared Kleinert, people like, who else we got here? Damon John, Power Broke. This is a good book. This is a good book if you haven't read it. Damon John, Power Broke. You know, we got Grant Cardone up here somewhere. Amy Schmittauer, good friend of mine. You guys might know Amy Schmittauer from Savvy Sexy Social, Vlog Like a Boss. You know, this is somebody else who's selling learn stuff and work hard. Gary Vaynerchuk's certainly selling that. My friend Evan Carmichael, another YouTuber. Evan Carmichael averages probably like less views per video than I do. Puts out 3 videos a day between him and his team, but the videos that he does put out over time, over-index just like mine, stick around forever, and they build up and build up and build up and build up. But in like a 30-day cycle, they get the same views that I get or less, and he has like twice as many subscribers. But we're putting out content that will matter to one person at a time, and we're okay with that. So his book, Your One Word, which I'm actually featured in this book now that I remember, is amazing, and he's a great motivational and entrepreneurship-based YouTuber. And again, almost none of his stuff is viral. None of his stuff is viral, and he's got like about, what, almost like 500,000 subscribers now, is a world-class public speaker, does like huge speaking events, has amazing corporate clients, and not everybody's gonna be an education person, but again, you don't need to do viral videos. Like Crystal Joy is an animation and vlogging YouTuber, 25,000 subscribers, and she gets a ton of views, and like she has a great community, and she hasn't blown up with a viral video. You know, but I'll probably like feature her on the channel at some point, or even invite her to do a collab or a live stream interview or something. And you know, a lot of you will watch her because her content's good, not because she has a viral video. Fraser Danger, thank you so much for $5 in the super chat. He says, Roberto, you a bad man. Keep supporting the community. Absolutely, I will. And hey, it's like I'm not like dissing anybody who is doing viral videos. I'm just saying that it's not scalable, and it's not something that's replicable, and it relies a lot on the fickle, dark culture of the internet. I don't think you want to hitch your wagon to that. A guy said, talk about being defensive. No, it's not being defensive. I'm going on the offense. I'm going on the offense because I'm attacking BS narratives. I'm attacking narratives that aren't true. I'm attacking things that have been perpetuated, that are misinformation and false information, that are making people feel like they're not good enough. That's what I'm doing. I'm not being defensive. I don't give a crap. Look, my view to subscriber ratio sucks, and I don't care. But you know why? Because I'll be real with you guys, there are YouTubers with 500,000 subscribers that struggle to pay rent, and I am not one of them. There are YouTubers with viral videos that struggle to pay rent, and I'm not one of them. We talk about this in the YouTube space, and I'm not throwing shade on anyone. There are articles that have been written about this. Gabby Dunn called this out because, like, people at, like, that have been big YouTubers that have also worked with, like, BuzzFeed, some of them are current, some of them are former. Some of you might have heard about this. Like, you have a lot of these people with 250,000 subscribers, millions upon millions of views, 3 and 5 and 10 times as many views as me, but they were still having to work their waitressing job or their regular office job to make ends meet, and you would think that they couldn't even talk about it because of the shame and stigma, because they're these big YouTubers, they moved out to LA, they're living the dream, and yet they're struggling financially, and they're depressed because of it, and they can't talk about it with their fans, and then they get so much hate every time they do a brand deal. So I'm not being defensive, I'm being aggressive as hell. I'm going on the offensive, and I'm going out of my normal like mode of chilling out to get real with you very quickly about stop thinking that you need to do this or it's not good enough. Stop. Just stop with that, and stop believing that your only hope and prayer is a viral video. Marcus Brownlee never had a viral video in his early career on YouTube. He's MKBHD, one of the biggest tech YouTubers, more tech influenced than the New York Times. One of the hugest channels out there in the tech space, 4 million subscribers, started 7 years ago. He started 7 years ago. Chris Perillo, who's still around, has like 360,000 subscribers, helped get him his start in the tech space, gave him a lot of advice, and Marquez surpassed Chris, and Marquez, his first 100 videos on YouTube never went viral, and he only got 78 subscribers out of it, right? He got 78 subscribers after doing 100 videos. I hear some of you quitting and whining after 20 because you only got 200 or 300 subscribers and you're quitting after 20. This kid 7 years ago did 100 videos to get 78 and was happy with it, stuck with it 7 years, being consistent, became one of the leading tech YouTubers, has 4 million subscribers now, graduated from college, bought his house on his YouTube money, bought this great studio in New York, I mean, has traveled the world, has been featured in every major publication. I mean, It's not a bad life. It's not a bad legacy, and it's because he did 100 videos and didn't whine about getting 78 subscribers and said, gee, no one's watching me, I guess I give up. He stuck with it for 7 years, people. Stuck with it for 7 years. I mean, can you imagine? Some of you are quitting after 30 executions, whether it's 30 posts that you do to Instagram that nobody likes, so you stop. 30 YouTube videos, so you stop. 30 Periscope live streams, so you stop because you aren't getting the views, the likes, the hearts, the shares, the whatever you think you deserve, and you're giving up before you've even really committed to the work. You haven't done 100 executions yet, you're not committed. Try doing 1,000. Try doing 1,000. So, no, I'm not to whoever that was who said, oh, you're being defensive. Screw that. I'm counterpunching. I'm going on the offense because I want to choke out all the misinformation and the negativity that's telling you guys that you're not good enough and that your only hope is a big YouTuber shout out. Your only hope is a viral video. I want that narrative to die. I want to take it to the bathtub. I want to place its head under the water, and I want that narrative to pass away quietly into the night. That's how much on the offense I am on that topic. So thank you for getting me fired up on that. Yeah. So someone said, hello, I get what you mean because I got 60K views in a week and didn't know what to do. Then I lost subs because I haven't uploaded since. You got to keep uploading. You got to keep being consistent. You got to keep delivering. Splits. Splits, dude, I've seen you commenting. I've seen you trolling. I feel you. I'm going to ban you, dude, because, you're straight up trolling. You said, oh, you're just jealous because you don't have a viral video. I already told you. I don't care if I ever get a viral video, dude. I don't care. It's and by the way, you said, you're, thirsty for money. I'm not thirsty for money. I'm hungry for money. Because being thirsty, you're just sitting there and you're thirsty and you're just wishing somebody would hand something out to you. I don't want a handout. I'm happy to work. I'm about hustle. I'm about hustle. You're not thirsty if you do 1,000 videos, dude. It's so you're sitting here calling me out. I want to know, what have you done 1,000 execution of besides trolling my comment section, bro? What have you done 1,000 executions of? Because, dude, if you want to talk and you want to say something to me, I'm happy to do it. Let's compare bodies of work. You show me your 1,000 pieces of a body of work, and I'll show you my 1,000 pieces of body of work, and let's dissect it. And let's objectively identify the quality. Let's objectively identify the results. Let's quantify it. Let's compare data. Let's compare stats. That'd be my answer. I don't have to be jealous of anybody because I'm happy with my own deal. When you're happy as hell, when you have the things you want, you don't have to be jealous of anybody. I see comments like yours and I get okay, dude, what the heck? You're spending your time commenting on and dissing me. Why aren't you making something? Time you take to be dissing me, you could be sitting there making your own video. So, whatever. Caden Conley asks, what editing software do you use? Personally use $60 editing software, although I believe it is slow, and you'd like to switch. Based on what you're using, I would say look at doing a trial of Final Cut Pro if you're on a Mac and see if it's worth the investment and you have the money. If not, save up for it. If you are on Windows, take a look at Cyberlink Power Director. It's a pretty robust piece of software for around $120. And if you get Cyberlink Power Director Studio, you get a whole bunch of stuff. You even get a screen recorder. So for $120, I think it's a good deal. Let's see. So, let's see. Does Super Chat go directly to you or how? My understanding is that either all of the Super Chat money goes directly to creators or 90% of it does. Mr. Sianan asked, Roberto, do you think people change their attitude toward others after they become quote-unquote famous? Famous is a relative term, and the thing is I wouldn't go in broad strokes here. I think it's down to the individual, but I don't think that money or fame changes a person so much as it reveals them. I think that the options that become available to someone, when they can do anything, what will they do? When you have unlimited options, what will you do? So I think that if you have more money, that reveals a lot about your nature and your character because you have less restrictions. Fame is a matter of where is your ego at and what does it do? What does it reveal about you? Now, I think everyone, as they get more acceptance, becomes more confident in themselves. But then it's a matter of, well, now do you need and do you want more acceptance or more acclaim? And are you changing things about your principles or your character or your behavior to get it, i.e. pandering or i.e. fame seeking, because now that you've got it, you need it in order to maintain your sense of value and worth. So there's some people like that, but there are some people who it does really nothing for them, or worse, it makes them feel more insecure because of the scrutiny. And I think it partly depends on whether you're an introvert and an extrovert. So I wouldn't go with broad strokes on this question. I would say it comes down to the individual. It's just that it really is about the individual. There's so many people that don't let fame or vanity go to their head, that are like the most humble and amazing people in the world. You got people like Gary Vee. You got people like Evan Carmichael, Marie Forleo, for whom acclaim doesn't change them or do anything to them except make them work harder. And then you have people like people in the mainstream celebrity culture who that vanity and that ego destroys them because of the fame, or destroys their character, or reveals more about their character, or it corrupts them because now that they have more choices, they're not doing good things because they have to. Now that they don't have to do good things to maintain something, they go to extremes. I mean, so it really just depends. And then there's some people who completely reverse it, just depending on what happens with them. Oh, Max Potential, you donated $10 in the super chat. Enjoy your channel, bro. Start your own business. Just purchase the book, Start Your Own Business. Awesome. Yeah, I recommended that for a reason. It's a really good book. Yeah, Gary Vee is a great example. Daniel, I'm sorry if you're seeing some lag. That could be the internet. Which I'm going to get a tri-band router soon. That will up everything once I get a new Motorola Surfboard modem and then a tri-band router. That should improve everything. Bible and Blues donated $5. Thank you. Moving that book around shows the problem with 4K's frame rate. This shouldn't be in 4K. Is this in 4K? This should be 1080, 30 frames per second. So yeah. Roberta, I think it's some crazy filters and effects in Zoom on your videos. Would you break up the audio and add more value? I know it's petty tricks. Maybe. Living Forever, Melody and Rick Schaefer. Roberto, I like that you're honest and how you feel. And I feel I can trust what you have to say. Yeah, I mean, I know that people will disagree with me. There are people who won't like what I have to say. But I'd rather be liked for being the dorky guy that I am. I'd rather be liked for being a hungry, aggressive capitalist who wants to build a big creative services business. Like somebody said something about me being about money. I've never hidden that. I've told you guys that not only am I about money, but I'm about money on being a creative person, because everyone tells creative people, like many of you in the audience, you've been told that you're going to be a starving artist. You've been told that what you do doesn't matter, and I need to prove to you that it does. And part of that is that if I prove it by saying, well, I took this path, I used my creativity, my photography skills, my art, my design, my creative thinking skills, my writing, and I made this much money doing it, and I built this business, and I scaled this lifestyle, then it sets an example and proves to you that it can be done, because the reality is also that at anything I do, I'm not like 110. I'm not in the top 1 percentile of anything but hard work. I'm not in the top 1 percentile on talent. I might be on critical thinking or problem solving. I'll give myself that one. But like design, I'm not in the top 1%. I'm an 80 at that, 85 on a great day. And guess what? I made a living at it. I had a job working at an ad agency. I got to do billboards in Times Squares. And that's not a modest brag. That's saying that if I can do that, you might be better than me. Why aren't you doing that? It's because you have a mindset or a process, or not the salespersonship skills, or not the other 3 skills in terms of your presentation, your communication, your ability to negotiate, that's holding you back. Not talent, because talent doesn't mean as much as you think it does. Because the most talented people I know are bagging groceries right now and are better than people who draw for Marvel and DC. but that's because they're starving artists. They don't have a business mentality. They're worried about being a sellout instead of worried about being happy and successful doing the thing that they love on their own terms, because they're so afraid of being a sellout that they won't take any risk with their creativity and their art, or they're afraid of rejection. And that's just real. And I'm not trying to bag on them or call them out so much as I'm trying to use them as a cautionary tale, because it's sad to me that people I know that are literally 100 times more talented than me are in a dead-end job that they don't love. And if they would let me, I could make them thousands of dollars a month on like 3 pieces of artwork to a creative agency that would love to hire them to do a caricature of a celebrity for a billboard. You know, when I was at the agency, we used to pay a guy who would do caricatures of people like Dennis Miller or like George Carlin. Like, we used to hire this guy, I think his name was Zach, out of California, and we weren't the only people hiring him, but he'd get $3,000 to $5,000 per, and all you'd have to do is, usually he'd do 5 or 6 drawings, and we'd pick one, and then we'd take it into Photoshop for the creative team, and then I would do the production artwork for the posters and billboards, and he would do that. He'd knock it out in a week, and he'd get like 3 or 5 grand. Like, it's nuts what's on the table for people. I know someone who just licensed a song that it took them 2 hours, and they got $800 for that, plus some royalty stuff that I don't know the details of. So the reason that I'm about building, 1, my own brand is to prove that to you guys, and then 2, I'm about making it as successful and profitable as I can, and making as much money as I can, so that I can show you what is attainable and what's on the table for you. But then I also need to build a business so that the people who don't want to be entrepreneurs, that end up in my ecosystem, that want to work for me, have a safe place to call home, where they can create stuff and do a great job and work for a company that they love, hopefully, if they don't want to be an entrepreneur. And I want some of you to build businesses like that, so that other creative people... I had to become an entrepreneur because everyone I worked for sucked. I didn't have a place to call home, so I had to build one. That's real to me, okay? So that's for real, and I want some of you to be an employer one day that's able to give other creative people a way to make a living and a place that they can call home. And that's what I want. So, am I jealous of anybody? No. There's nobody that I would trade places with, because I'm one of the happiest people I know. I wake up every day doing what I love. Do you realize how blessed I am to be able to sit here for an hour and give you guys a free hour of value while I'm also testing out some cool stuff, some cool gear? Like, why would I be jealous of anybody when I have the luxury of giving away an hour of my time talking about stuff that matters to me, talking about like things I enjoy, like being able to rant at the camera whenever I want to, you know? It's not a matter of letting people get to me, and I appreciate that, or maybe it is, I don't know. But it's that it shows me that there are people that still don't get it. And that's why I get aggressive, and that's why I go on the offensive. It's like, I don't play defense. Not anymore, I used to, but I don't play defense. I'm all attack. I'm all attack, guys. Like, my defense stats suck. Like, I'm all attack. It's like, I have what? I have 3,000 attack points, 1,000 defense points, that's it? Some of you will know that reference. But that's how I roll. Immortal Creators asks, what's the real meaning of vlogging? It's what you make of it for the most part. I mean, go back to the old school vloggers. Go back to John and Hank Green. Go back to Zay Frank. And then figure out your variation of that. Vlogging is video logging. So it's like blogging. Blogging is writing an article. It's writing what you want from your point of view. Okay? Vlogging is the video equivalent of that. So vlogging is what you make of it. This could be considered a vlog. It won't be for a lot of people who think that Casey Neistat is the answer to vlogging. And even he said that he's not, is that he did his variation of it because he's a filmmaker. A musician will do a completely different style of vlog. I think a writer could do a different style of vlog. I think that, it's to each their own more than anything. Gary Vaynerchuk does a different kind of vlog. Gary Vaynerchuk's vlog is having D-Rock, David Rock, follow him around with a camera. That's Gary Vaynerchuk's style of vlog. Vlogging is just the new version of reality TV. Vlogging is the Truman Show. This is Tree TV says, trolls don't have any body of work. Couldn't agree more. V-Love says, can you talk about the amazing benefits of collaborating? That's right up my alley. I do them every week. Collabs can be good, but I think that you have to have a strategy on some level for your collabs. I'm being very strategic about my collabs, and it doesn't matter to me what subscriber count someone has. What matters to me is the value that they deliver to you guys as an audience, because while I strategically do everything, the underlying goal is that the video should have value to somebody in this community, in the short or long term or both, meaning that I want to introduce you to people that can bring you value that maybe I can't bring you. Primary example is the stuff that I'm doing with Eric Peter Carlson. He's much more knowledgeable about filmmaking than I am. He's done a feature-length film. He's done 3 or 4, is it now? I think he's done 4 feature-length films. There are so many of you that are filmmakers or have the ability or the aspiration to be, and he can help you better than I can, but I have more reach and audience than him right now in YouTube and social media, despite his tremendous accomplishments. So we're working together collaboratively because I can bridge the gap on the new media digital side for him, and then there's a lot of cool things that he can teach me about the business of filmmaking and production, because I do actually have plans to do documentary filmmaking in the next couple of years around creatives. I want to follow around people like Chase Jarvis or Benjamin Vong Wong or Sarah Dietschy or Jared Polin or just any number of creative people. I want to follow them around. I want to tell their story. I want creative people to be rock stars. I want to do for creative people in different genres what the Facebook movie, The Social Network, did for programmers in elevating their status, so that people in the mainstream take these type of creators more seriously. So in terms of collabing, you have to think about what's the goal of this collaboration. And it has to be beyond views and subscribers. 1, think about what the goal is for your audience. What is this collab delivering value to your viewers? And then what does this collab bring for the other person you're collaborating with? And what does it bring for you, short term and long term? So again, strategy. I don't do things in the context of YouTube views and subscribers. I do them in this much more macro way up here, but then a micro detail over here, and I make it practical. Beanie Draw says, oh, hey, your setup works. Congrats. Yeah, thank you. It's like it took a while to get it to work, right? So that matters. Do you recommend having an intro or no, just have an outro? Intro, if you're going to do an intro and you're not doing a show, if you're going to do an intro and you're not doing a YouTube show, make it 3 to 5 seconds, please, because we don't have time. So there's that. But if you're doing a show, you can do it like a TV show and make it a 15 or 30-second intro, which could be really cool if the editing is really good. That's what's going to happen for Always Be Creating TV, my show, when it comes out this summer. But for outros, I think everyone should have an outro now, but you should design your outro to take advantage of the new YouTube end card system, which means that the outro should be 15 to 20 seconds, no more. And it should have a space for you to have up to 2 recommended videos and a subscribe space for your little face thing as a circle. So I would figure that out, draw that up, and I would make that. And you could either make it a video template or you can make it like a still with a photo or a graphic or something. I'm experimenting with doing it with videos, and I'm using my drone footage and time lapses for the background for those outros now. This is Tree TV. How do you donate? In the super chat comments, there's a little $sign thing. You click on that, and then you can use Google Wallet and tie it to whatever card you want, and you can donate anything you want. $2, $5, $10, whatever you want, and that's how the super chat works. And then also your comment pops up on the top, and I read it out loud. So that's cool. Breezy Canyon, you're just saying hello? Hi, how are you, Breezy Canyon? Digging you guys' comments. So, yep, let's see. Tiffany's LC says, money talks is the truest. It does. Like, I mean, money's an amplifier. Money, I agree. Someone here says that, actually. Gerald Du Bois. Oh, Gerald, how are you? Yeah, money's an amplifier. Like, if money can be like the way that alcohol is. It's not that it's your true self. It's so much as this is the version of you that's not inhibited, right? Meaning that you might think that you have a certain type of taste until you get money. Then you see well, what is it that you spend money on and what do you matter? Like, I thought that if I got a certain amount of money that I would definitely be one of those people that probably go out and would want a certain type of car. And then I realized I hate driving. I don't want a certain type of car. So I threw that out. I ended up finding out that what I ended up spending my money on is stuff like the DJI Mavic Pro. I ended up spending money on things that let me work harder, smarter, faster. I found out that, oh wow, I really want to live forever without having to get cybernetic enhancements, so I bought a gym membership. I figured out that I have airplane anxiety, so I try to travel very conveniently, so I bought travel stuff that lets me travel fast and light, and I ended up like spending more on travel. I don't use cheap airlines anymore. I either fly Delta or American, and I don't care how much it costs. And I also found out that I like security and comfort when I travel, so I don't use cheap hotels. I pretty much only stay at Marriott's and Embassy Suites. And that's why I found out about myself when I started making a certain amount of money compared to when I wasn't making as much, as I found out that I value time, I value speed, I value comfort, and I value quality, and I don't like replacing things. So it means when I buy technology, which makes my life easier, I buy the better brands instead of bargain stuff because I don't like replacing it. On stuff that I know that I lose or that I'm going to damage, like earbuds, I go a little cheaper sometimes, and I keep a premium set locked away because I know, well, those little things, I lose them. So those are things that money revealed about me. And the other thing it revealed about me is like how much I don't care about certain things because I still refuse to spend money on them. Like, it revealed a lot to me. I've learned a lot about myself in proportion to finances. And so I would say that for many people, your income as it increases for you will reveal to you, not to other people, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I think it'll reveal to you what you value because of what you're willing to invest in. I think that the other thing I found out about myself is that I will invest in information because I did buy, even though they would have given them to me, I bought courses from a lot of my friends because I wanted to see what they would do, and I wanted to see what their level of course was for things I'm planning, but I also wanted to see how they teach something when they're not beholden to the YouTube algorithm. Because I think that the type of video that I can do where I train and teach, where I'm not thinking about search engine optimization, YouTube attention spans and time limits and titles and descriptions and tags, I think that my teaching style and format, now that I've experimented with it, is better outside of YouTube. I think that this teaching style and format that I have when I do workshops at events, which I need to film more of that when I do them, because I'm filming the speaking engagements, but I haven't been filming the workshops. I need to do that. When I do workshops, which I'll have to figure out the NDA stuff and what I can show, or I might have to host a workshop myself to film. I'll figure it out. My point is, when I teach people in the real world, and when I teach my clients and my consulting people, and I'm not beholden to YouTube culture and what plays well on YouTube, I think it's better. It's not that I'm not trying to deliver the most value, it's that you have to do certain things for YouTube or it doesn't work. And there's things in YouTube that the culture of the people in YouTube will and won't accept, but someone who pays for a course will, not to mention that there are less distractions. So what I found was I went and I bought courses from friends of mine and info products from friends of mine to see what the variation is between what they teach in the free platform when they're beholden to the algorithm versus what they do outside of it, and how that stacks up against their speaking engagements and their workshops, and then also what I know personally from having dinner with them and working with them outside. So it's things like that. I found out that I will invest in learning, which, given how jaded I am about college, surprised me how much I'm willing to invest in my own education on my own terms. So I think that was revealing to me as well. Like, it's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought. My Silly Channel says, would like to see more tutorial videos. You don't seem to make any these days. I put out a video editing tutorial last week. I put out a 45-minute video editing tutorial. The reason that you haven't seen as many tutorials is the time that they take to edit, partially, but also the fact that I'm trying to step up the video editing tutorials. Flern has set the bar in my mind for what tutorials can be and should be, and so I've been putting together a production strategy to more aggressively increase the production values and the format of my tutorials and my training videos to take those to a whole different level. And I could just put out some tutorials, but it's one of those, do I put out the tutorials and know that they'll be good content? They will, but that they might not have the production values that I want. I'm debating because I'm still deciding whether or not I double down there or I give you guys what you want and live with what quality it is and put that out there, or do I not put it out until I step my game up, or do I do it incrementally? So that's the only reason I haven't been doing as many tutorial and training style videos, is because I'm conflicted about the quality's good, but I'm debating whether or not I try to jump to great or whether I do it incrementally. It's just like this live streaming stuff. I just did a huge leap in live streaming, and I threw a lot of money at it, and I'm learning a steep learning curve, but that's what it is. The Lovely Life, what are your thoughts on 4K video? I did several videos about my thoughts on 4K video. Short version is, I think that everyone should start experimenting with 4K video and not wait for it to be the standard. That way, by the time it's the standard, you understand what your workflow is, what your hardware needs to be, what your production values are acceptable at, what your style is for it, how long it takes you, how much money it's gonna, like, I think you should figure out something before it becomes the norm. If you figure something out before it becomes the norm, you're positioned for it. So the little thing shown on the bottom left screen is the volume. Family on, alright, so you're asking transcribe and translate videos or not. Provide captions, and depending on what percentage of your audience is a certain language, make a decision there based on data and with cost in mind. Fraser Danger X, how do you feel about the Patreon model? YouTubers with 20 to 40K subs are making 2K because of such high community support. V, for instance. I think that the Patreon model is a good model for some people. I don't think it is for others. I don't think for YouTube videos, Patreon's going to be good for me. I think my Patreon will shift to the podcast, to be honest. I think my podcast will do Patreon support rather than my YouTube channel, and I think I'm going to need to make that transition. My business model for YouTube is much more effective without it and without going there. I think Super Chat has actually proven to be more effective than Patreon for me, just in this stream alone. So I think that's cool. Poisoner says maybe this channel should be called Angry Roberto. Nah, because I'm not usually angry. Today is an exception. I made an exception just for you, buddy. V-Love says you are so passionate about this stuff, right there for you. Ulfis OG, your videos are helping me post and stream daily. I'm so glad to hear that. I want so many of you to actually just create awesome, to just do things. There's so many of you that watch, and I think that you're watching and you're getting inspired and motivated, but you haven't done anything yet, and I want you to do something. I want some of you, I'm thinking of doing a video soon, I'll be fired up in that video too, but like early like preview for you guys. 90-day challenge. 90 days from now, I want to see if you have 90 executions. I want you guys to go out there and create something awesome every day, consistently, for the next 90 days. Even if it means giving up playing Overwatch, even if it means not watching The Flash, I want you, for the next 90 days, to have at least one solid execution that you're proud of on a thing, whether it's you do a design every single day, you do photography every single day, you do YouTube every single day for the next 90 days. I want to see 90 results from you guys in 90 days. I want you to hit me up in social and show me over the next 90 days that you're doing the work. Because I'd like to believe that at least half of you are watching my content and then you feel, okay, I solved that problem, thank you, Roberto, and now I'm going to do the thing. or you motivated me, Roberto, and now I'm going to do the thing. I want to believe that. I don't know that that's true, but I want you guys to do it, and I want you to show me, and that would be amazing. And it's not because you owe it to me or anything like that. I want you to see it for yourself, because positioning and building a body of work is the difference between being successful. What I position against, guys, I don't position, like, I don't market myself based on my subscriber count and my view count. I don't think you guys realize that. I position myself on the fact that I've shot, edited, produced, and optimized and marketed 1,000 videos, which puts me in the 1% of video marketers. Not my subscriber and view count, which that also helps because there are only so many video marketers. Most marketers do not have even 50,000 YouTube subscribers. The only people in the video marketing space that really have like 50,000 YouTube subscribers are pretty much me, Sonny Lenarduzzi, Steve Dotto, Amy Schmittauer, Daryl Eves, Tim Schmoyer, Gideon Shalwick, Jeremy Vest, David Walsh, and let's see, I said Jeremy Vest, and I'm thinking of there's another one. There are like 2 more people, and I know them, and I'm spacing on their names, and I really hate that I'm doing that. But yeah, there's only so many people. But there are people who are on their way that are really qualified. People like Brian G. Johnson, people like Nick Nimmin, people like Owen Hemsath. You have a lot of these people, and they have like 10, 20,000, and they're solid video marketers. But the overwhelming majority of marketers in YouTube land and the video marketing space are not where I'm at, are not where Sonny is, or not where Amy is, or not where Daryl or Tim are, or certainly not where Gary Vee is. Like, that's real. So what I position on is not that subscriber count, though, because the number of people who have done 1,000 videos, and thus, as a result of 1,000 videos, know the YouTube algorithm and have 1,000 pieces of sample data. Because that's the thing. For case studies in the marketing world, you need sample data. And I have the case studies, but beyond my own case studies, I also have the client case studies. So I have the channels that I've audited. Then, on top of that, I have the channel review stuff. So there's positioning your body of work, and your client list is going to matter more than whatever you think social media, social proof does for you. Work outweighs social proof. Social proof is a hack to get the attention of the person that body of work will matter to, because you're in their peripheral. They can, oh, wait, I've heard of them. They're hearing about you in the water cooler. Your name is in circulation. That's its value. That's its value, but that's not what you're selling. What you're selling is the body of work that you're leveraging the attention to sell the body of work, because results are what people care about. So I think that 90 days of you guys producing results is your faster hack, because some of you don't have 100 something in your body of work right now. A lot of you don't have 50 pieces of something in your body of work right now that are at the level you need them to be to market yourself effectively, to position against clients or employers and sell them and convince them. You guys, some of you, and this is why I say sometimes, especially beyond self-initiated work, the reason I advocate find somebody that you can trade with to work for free so that you have referrals and testimonials, because you may not think it matters, but having those 20 recommendations in LinkedIn puts you to the top 1% of people competing in your field. So whether you made money on that or not, if you traded something that saved you money or got you value, but also got you a referral, a testimonial, and a recommendation in LinkedIn, you have leverage now. And if you stack that even 20 times, it's more than most of your competitors. And so it's about positioning against competitors, but also positioning against the market demand. That became a lecture real quickly. That became a marketing lecture. Not that I mind that it became a marketing lecture. I just don't know how much you guys dig marketing lectures. Let me try and find your comments. Yeah, but I love doing marketing lectures. Nicole Watson asked, have you read the book Millionaire Minds? No, but I've read the book The Millionaire Next Door, and I've read 6 Months to 6 Figures. Let's see. Sarah Master says, thanks so much for this video. You're well-spoken and clearly have been dedicated to your mind and sets of skills. How are people sending you money via this live chat? So they're using a feature called Super Chat. It's a new YouTube feature. I think I have the video coming out about Super Chat this Friday, I think. It's either Super Chat that's coming out this Friday, or it's the YouTube TV strategy, or maybe I'll release them both. I don't know. One of those two videos is coming out. But the point is, Super Chat, you click the $ button there at the bottom. You can send a chat message, but you can also donate money using whatever ATM or credit card you want via Google Wallet, and that donates money directly to me, which I will then probably spend buying drones and things like that. Tony Kale said $5. Thank you for what you do, Roberto. Oh, thank you so much for what you just did, Tony. Super appreciate it. So that's kind of cool. His username says, I've seen 15-second intros on 3-second sound effect video. Wow, really? Huh. That's interesting. Sterling Rutherford says, I want to be a writer. Is there an efficient way to make money off that? Absolutely. I should do a video specifically about this because I've made money as a freelance writer, writing for paid publications. But before I could write for publications, I used really cheap writing services that I could write for. And I didn't make a ton of money, but I got to a point to where I could make like $50 to $100 per article, depending. You can use platforms like Clear Voice. You can use platforms like Hire Writers. Hire Writers is super cheap, but I think they pay out every week. But, you know, if you do quick, short, 150-word things for them for $5, excuse me, and you do that like 5 or 6 times in a day, you made an extra $30. People don't realize this, but $30 a day could change your life, because $30 a day of extra money is $900 extra a month, which is over 10 grand a year extra. Your boss isn't going to give you a 10 grand a year raise in all likelihood, so if you can figure out $30 a day, you just gave yourself a 10 grand a year raise. These are the hacks that I figured out in my life, and it made a real difference for me. All right, looks like battery power is dying soon. So like I said, use Hire Writers, use Clear Voice, find all the places that you can write for pay. Battery's gonna die any minute, so let's see, let's wrap this up. Let me try and get to some recent stuff and everything like that. Thank you for everyone who donated via Super Chat, super appreciated it. This setup is the Blackmagic design Shuttle Intensity. It's a $200 video capture card. My Panasonic Lumix G7 is the camera, and I'm using Wirecast Pro as the software, $500 software, but you can use OBS. So that's the difference. So guys, thank you so much for all of the chats. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everybody who paid via Super Chat. Blah, blah, blah. Roberto, I'm an animator working on indie short film budget. I'd like to know what's the best way to find voice actors. Nuxt. If you want to find voice actors, you have a couple of options. You could try reaching out to people via Twitter and Instagram, but you could also, if you're on a shoestring budget, I normally don't say this, maybe you use Fiverr. So that's an option. But if you don't want to use Fiverr, use Envato Studio. That's who I would use, but I have a bigger budget. But if I didn't, I would say maybe you use Fiverr. If you can't rope friends into it. I would rope friends into it. I would do trades. Yep, Jared Chan says, watch Daryl Eves' video. He says, avoid paying for YouTube views. It kills your organics and you get stuck in a cycle of having to pay for views. Yep, I agree with Daryl 110% on that. But don't buy fake ad traffic. But I think Daryl might be referring to using the YouTube video for ads thing. But I would say if you're selling a product or service, use YouTube ads. But yes. So guys, that's it for the live stream using the new high pro setup, Wirecast, Panasonic Lumix G7, Blackmagic Shuttle Intensity. Links are in the description below. Guys, you can also check out robertoblake.com/YouTube gear for my gear list. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. We got to create an awesome 90-day challenge. I want to see 90 days of results for you guys. Check back in with me. I'll post a video about that soon. All right, you guys, stay awesome and take care. I'm going to shut this down.